What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. To the left side here, we have Raidraptor going up against Despia. This is going to be the 50 card variant, so a little bit differently. Playing those Lair of Darknesses, playing those cards like High Spirits as well. Just playing like lots of different stuff to get it, essentially letting you dig for your deck for those exact cards. Before we dive into the like, comment, subscribe, this is at a 3v3, so shoutouts to everyone who's played that out. You guys might see some people who are going to be helping out during the duel. You're able to ask your teammates for help. We are going to be seeing Despia choosing to go first, which is very nice because of the fact that if Raidraptors go first, chances are you're not winning the game at all. So we're going to be seeing them start off in a Lair of Darkness. This is actually interesting to me. I don't love this variant because it does lose to Duel a bit more. You're not really going to be digging for those amazing cards. We're going to be seeing them banish a Magnemite here. Not the greatest. And then we have to activate a Polymerization using a copy of Cartesia as well as a Sornier here. This is going to be summoning out the Granganol. And we can activate Granganol as well as a Sornier Chainlink 2. We can let us dump a copy of like Brand of Retribution from the deck. So the problem I don't love with this build is yeah, Polymerization is a crazy card, but it's the same thing with like the Field Spell. The Field Spell is really nice to be able to fuse, but it also gives you like additional effects. I'm not saying obviously that that's good, but like when you start adding your patchworks and then your copies of like Edge Imp Chains, you have like multiple engines that like if you have one of them, let's say you open Polymerization, you only play one Polymerization that we saw like DB Grinders list was playing. You end up getting to a point where it's just like you can't play any cards. If you already have like the two Patricks in hand and you already have the Polymerization, you're just looking at nothing here. So we are going to be dumping the copy of the Lulu Walith. They're in the end phase. We're going to be summoning out the copy there of the Quem. They're going to activate the effect. It's going to get hit with an Imperm. I do want to apologize about the glare. I can't seem to understand why some people at locals, like their sleeves, depending on where the camera is, there's some kind of glare. We're going to be seeing Raidraptor going to go into a Raiders Knight here. This is going to be very, very nice. And they can activate the Quem effect. We're going to be using a copy of Droplets on the Raiders Knight. And then we're going to go for the Mimicry, normal summon it out. Then we're going to get activate the effect of Smorg, summon itself out. We can go then for a Forstrix there. And then we can activate the effect to summon out your copy of Cartesia. Not much is going to be done with this. We can go into a Dragostapelia, but it's not going to do very much. And then here we're going to go for a copy of Masquerade. We're trying to get that burn, seeing if they have to go through a bunch of effects. And we're going to see them search for a copy of Strangulanius. And we do still have the Queritus in our extra deck, so we'll be able to go for that. We're going to see Strangle summon himself out. Then we can activate the effect. Bring back out the copy of Fuzzy. Link away into the copy of Forstrix here. Forstrix as well as the effect of... I actually don't even really know what these cards do. They dump. Or they just add you to your hand, okay. I know one adds you your spell, I think. Okay, we're summoning out Raiders Knight. Or Raiders Wing, I should say. It's really cool that they're Phantom Knights as well as Raidraptors. Then we're going to go Fuzzy Lania, summon himself out. We then can overlay for a copy of Forstrix once again here. Forstrix can activate its effects. We're paying a lot of light points, but if we summon out towers, it does not matter. We're going to be able to set the trap because we activated set the spell, rank up spell because we activated the effect of an XYZ monster, and Forstrix allows us to do that, which is absolutely insane. I remember when people were playing in the Lunalite days, going to be able to do that kind of stuff was just absolutely BS. But where to next is the question. I don't think they have anything to link up into is the problem. If they can get to Arsenal Falcon, it'll help them quite a bit, but I'm not too sure where they can go up from here. I don't know the deck very well, so we're just thinking we have a Tribute Lanius in the hand. I know Raiders Knight lets us go into the copy of Arc Rebellion, but it doesn't really do very much for us. So we're just going to scoop it up there, realizing that we potentially maybe screwed up a little bit, not be able to set the right card, or maybe summoning the wrong monster, which is fine. We do that in occasion. Or maybe there was just nowhere else they could go. I mean, I don't really know the deck very well, so you guys let me know in the comment section down below. It could potentially be also that the Masquerade ends up killing them there. Like to get out the Masquerade, or to out the Masquerade, they'd have to burn through a bunch of resources, and that would have left them on nothing or an optimal place. And they're convinced that if they end up going first game 2, they'd have the play. You don't want to be getting close to time in a case like this, where you have to be very careful of the clock. Part of being the biggest resource as well as the worst resource we have is the clock. So definitely be careful when you are playing matches. You guys all know about the time rules, how much we love those things. The best time rules we've ever had in the game, definitely right now, right? We love just essentially losing unless you have a burn card, and that feels so greasy to play all the time. But we are going to dive back into game 2 here. We're going to be seeing a normal summon out of this Samorg. We're going to go for double Samorg here. Very unfortunate. But that does let us go to the Raiders Knight. Now it's going to go into a copy of the Brave Strix. Brave Strix can let us search for the copy of the Rank Up. Then we can activate the effect. That's going to let us go into a copy of the Arsenal, which is very nice. We got to activate the effect here. Summon one from the deck, because why not? We're going to summon out the copy of Noir. Noir will activate its effects to search us for the Doom, I think it is. It's crazy, like, we got so many random support cards, and we're able to play these decks, which are anime decks for people who don't realize. And we're going to go for the copy of Forstrix. We're going to go summon out also with the Arsenal faction, go into a copy of the Big Boy Chicken. I remember this card was only ever played as a copy of Waking the Dragon Target, and now we have a better version of it, which is pretty crazy as well. But then we're going to go for Raiders Knight, we then activate the effect. It makes it so that our opponent cannot activate any cards or effects for the rest of this turn, so we can't get nibbed. Then we're going to go for a Forstrix here. And then that can let us search out for a copy of the Struggle. Struggle is going to activate the effect to summon out the copy of the Noir. I know I'm struggling with these cards. Then we can rank up once again into a copy of the Tower Boy. And then we can activate the effect there. Let us summon out a copy of Tribute. And then we get to banish a copy of Mimikrai to set the Roost onto the field. And Roost is going to be like a nice little upstart by putting back 3, kind of like an Avarice. We then go Forstrix, banish, or, not banish, but we're getting too ahead of ourselves. We are going to be searching for the Omniate Trap. Then we detach off the Forstrix to be able to search here. We search for another Tribute Lanius for the follow-up. We then banish the Doom to be able to re-add back that spell. And then we go for an Evil Swarm. We set 3 cards here, and then we end phase. We're going to activate the effect of the Roost, putting back the 3, 2 from banished, 1 from graveyard, and drawing a card. And then we're just going to pass turn on this. So now we have 2 towers on the field, an Evil Swarm, and then we have a rank up ability to go into the copy of the trap. or into the copy of the third. So the trap is Omni Negate. We have 2 towers on the field, and then we will be able to rank up into any other towers, which is quite good. And we have an Evil Swarm. So pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Plus an Unknown, and follow up in the hand. So I believe it's actually impossible for Brandon to out this board. I could be mistaken, but I don't think they have it. I mean, if they had like a sphere mode, would do it, but who's playing sphere mode? So we're going to summon out Albaz, activate the effect here. Setting an Edge Imp Chain, it's going to be negated there. They're going to activate Talents to take, or to draw 2 here. It's going to get negated. Then we're going to activate Polymerization. And then we're going to be chaining to summon out their material here. We do go for a Cartesia. And that's going to be summoning out a copy of the Chimera, Guardian Chimera here, I should say. And we do have the big Raidraptor that's going to be burning. We do get to draw 2 and destroy, but they'll just negate that, and we're going to be seeing our Brandon player scoop it up here. Unfortunately, you can't really do very much against that. Guardian Chimera is a great card, but playing against those towers is just not enough. Like, I don't think there's anything that you can do versus the towers. I did want to get like Poops down for the just today. I guess he's also going to be here next week for the regionals. So shoutouts to him for coming down. We love when people come down to stay at our locals. Very nice to see some new faces in the community. We don't have any Brandon. We don't have any. I should say we don't have any Brandon players either. We had one guy, shout out to Bambrick, who used to play Raidraptors as well as Branded, but unfortunately they kind of have to go to work now, so they can't come as often, which is unfortunate. But that is kind of the life of a working man. You don't always get to go to your events, unfortunately, with school as well as working a full-time job. It gets kind of difficult, but so we just hopefully see people when we can. And these are 2 matches up that's going to be quite interesting. You probably won't see on the channel ever again. But we're going to be seeing the branded player going to be able to choose who's going to go first once again here. Going into game 3. But I see a Delta and Ash in that hand. Wow. So we're going to start off with a fusion deployment here. That's going to go through, and we're going to be revealing a copy of the Cartesia by revealing the Garanganol. Summoning with the Cartesia here. I wish there was a Quem fusion. That would make the deck quite nice. Having multiple accesses to Quem, or even an Aluber. I can see them being an Aluber fusion. You may not even play it for actually summoning it. It could have like a pretty decent effect, and it would still be played. We're going to activate the effect of Cartesia using itself and the Tragedy. That's something else I don't love about the bigger builds. Is you're playing more Tragedies and you're playing more Mercuriers, and it's not always the best card to see in your hand, I find. As much as I love the Mercurier, it's just not the greatest. So we can go either for the Tax Dragon or a copy of the Garanganol here. We're going to go for the Tax Dragon because it is quite difficult for the Raidraptor deck to end up playing through that. And then we're going to activate the effect of Tragedy. It's going to get hit with a copy of Ash Blossom. Quite nice, stopping that copies of either summoning out the Aluber or summoning out Quem. It's also very impactful that since we have the copy of Delta in the hand, that if we already had a Branded Fusion and we just search for Lost, we'd be quite punished because unfortunately Delta negates the activations. We're going to activate a Thrust, and at that point we're just going to smash down the Delta as well. A Branded Fusion at this point would be quite devastating, but they only have 2 cards left in hand. We're going to be seeing them activate the Albaz, sending itself, or so activating the effect, sending a copy of the droplets here, going for an Albion, using the Delta. Then we're going to activate the effect of the Albion using itself, or using Albaz, as well as it could go for itself using a copy of Mirror Jade, or going for a copy of Mirror Jade, but you could also go for the Granganol here by banishing the Cartesia. And that way you could dump like a copy of Lubellion, and then you can like use Lubellion to go, like dump a copy of Lubellion from the deck, and then Lubellion can tag out that copy of Albion. Yeah, I would do this too. Go for Granganol that way, using the Tragedy. Personally, myself, I would use the Albaz so that you could get the effect of Tragedy once again when you go for Branded in Red. We're going to be dumping Albion from the extra deck here. Yeah, I feel that's a little bit of a misplay. We definitely want to be dumping. So yeah, if you go for Granganol, dump Lubellion. Lubellion can actually tag out, and then you'll have Branded in Red, and then Branded in Red can use Lubellion plus itself. Or I guess Tragedy can use itself plus Lubellion on the field to go for a copy really of whatever that you want to go for. Like, we don't have a Tax Dragon, so I guess we can go for, like, I mean, I don't even know at this point. If you play two Granganols, you can go for a Granganol. You can go for a Quertus. You can also go for Dragostapelia, which is really nice. So that'd probably be the play, and then you just search off of that. But leaving the Albaz engraved lets you go for a copy of the Mirror Jade, it looks like. That could be a Guardian Chimera, actually. It is, okay. We're going to be doing some of our Raidraptor combos, getting a that Brave Strix. The level 4, that's absolutely correct. Let you summon from the hand. And then we're going to go for a copy of Raider's Knight here. And then we're going to go for the Brave, and that's going to be able to search for the field, the rank up, I should say. And we are going to continue here. Like, you use the Granganol off the field, so it's just like, you know, you don't have the effect because you can't summon. There are no battle phase attack with the Arsenal Falcon into the Masquerade, so then we can't take any more burn damage here. You know, we are getting pretty close to time, or like somewhat close to time in game 3, so it's like you have to like kind of play. You can play a little bit slower, especially when they're like on so low cards. You know, the top, what are we going to top deck? A Brand of Fusion, and then like, then what? We're going to go for a Noir with the 4 Strix, and we're going to go for the copy of the Mega Chicken here. And then we get to go for Raider's Knight once, or Raider's Wing once again here. I do want to apologize if I'm saying any of these names wrong. I don't really know everything perfectly. I'm still learning Raidraptors myself. We're going to activate the effect of the Mega Chicken here, detaching the Arsenal. Then we can go for the copy of 4 Strix, activating the 4 Strix effect here, which is going to let us go for a copy of Strangle. We're going to activate the effect of the rank up. We may not be able to do that one if this is the quick play. It's not the quick play, okay. So we're good going for the Mega Chicken here, which is going to blow up the board. And if we can't do that there, we'll just wait for our opponent's turn. I think one of them's a quick play, but yeah, we'll wait for our opponent's turn to blow it up as well. Does not really matter. We're just going to be able to like destroy the board here. So we're going to summon up a bunch of monsters, banishing the Mimicry, choosing for a copy of the Roost here. Activating the Roost, and we can XYZ into a copy of 4 Strix once again. Activating the effect. Searching for a tribute. This is going to be follow-up. And then banish the Doom to add back. And then we're going to go for the copy of Roost. Shuffle back to draw. We do draw into another Delta, unfortunately. Not a very playable card at the moment. But we have 2 towers on the field. What are they going to do against this? They have a Masquerade that can come back, 2 cards in hand, and a Lubellion here, which is going to be activating the effect. And gets ashed anyways. Wow. That's just going to be very rough. We're going to activate Albion here, sending the copy of Branded Fusion, most likely. We do have the Retribution in the graveyard, I believe. That could be the previous game, I could be mistaken. Or actually, we don't. It was the last game. So we're going to send Retribution here. That's going to only let us add back the Albaz. So we're praying for a top deck of all times. And they're going to say, can I look at your graveyard? So they do apparently have some plays. And if they don't, this is just OTK. And I think we're quite done. The only card this can be is Branded Fusion. And Branded Fusion does not beat this board. I think we made a little bit of a misplay there. We would have been able to search for Albion. Going into that stuff, we would have been able to just play through it. They have a Sorneer, and that's going to be that. Yeah, they're going to pass turn on this. They're going to rank up into another copy of the Mega Chicken here, and that's just going to be game. So they're just going to go effects, attack, and that's just game. So we are going to be seeing the copy of Raidraptor. I guess they do block with Sorneer, but they will just be able to attack over it, and then just attack for game, which is going to just be Raidraptor. End up taking the win here, going into that game 3. There might have been a little bit of misplay on the Brandon part, but I don't think that Brandon can do quite much against a copy of Triple Towers, which is pretty crazy. Before we end the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, see more content like this. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.